Hey guys, TKC here, the Kaijudo channel. I'm here with a really special update, a nice sneak peek at a future feature that is going to be on the Kaijudo channel website. So I'm going to go ahead and share it with you guys today. It's not released currently. Right now it's kind of under development, and I'd like to get some kind of feedback on this so I could maybe improve it a little bit more, and then maybe within the next week or so I'll eventually officially release it to you all, and then you all could enjoy it. So, as you can see on the top of this page, there is now a new page called Tournaments. So let's go ahead and click that right now. You click Tournaments and check it out. You have a list of all the recent tournaments, actually all the tournaments up until now. This is kind of a little bit outdated because the last one is ARG Circuit Series St. Louis, but of course there have been a couple others after this. I didn't update the database yet, but this is pretty much what I have so far. Pretty neat stuff, right? So you can pretty much, go through the pages and just look for whichever tournament you want. So you're like, let's see, I went to Ontario. I top 4'd here. Let's go check it out. And over here, you have the tournament page. So this is pretty much all the details regarding this one tournament. So you have the name of it, which for the KMCs, it's pretty much going to be KMC, the season it's in, and then the year. So this was spring 2013, and this was in Ontario. It was on June 29th, and there were only 26 players, and these are the top 8 decks, and the top 8 people with these decks. So here I am right here at 4th place. Here's my friend Alex in 3rd, and etc., etc. And now you can pretty much just go through all these tournaments one by one and just see what you want. Oh, Winter Championships, that's a pretty big tournament. Let's see who won that. Bobby Break won it with Lightwire Darkfire Dragons. Now, you may be wondering, okay, now how do I see these decks exactly? Well, we have a really special page for that, and that is the deck details page, or if you want to call it the deck profile page, which is right here. Boom. So as you can see, there's a lot going on this page, so I'm going to go ahead and walk through each one bit by bit and maybe get some feedback from you guys. So let's start with the top right here. So of course you have the name of the deck. For now, most of the decks are pretty much just the archetype name in a way. So this is just 4 Civ Dragons, Lightwire Darkfire by Bobby Break. Eventually you'll be able to click on the person's name and you'll be able to see all the other decks by said person. On the top right, if this was a deck that placed at a tournament, you'll have a nice little kind of details thing over here where it says here first at Winter Championships, and also if you click on Winter Championships, of course, you'll be sent to the tournament page that shows all of the top 8 decks from that tournament. So that's kind of a little neat little feature right there. Now over here, it's kind of important to notice the latest set thing over here, because a lot of these decks, especially like the ones way back in early 2013, the latest set out at the time was like Dragon Strike Infernus. So sometimes people would look at a deck and go like, ooh, this did well, but why isn't it using multi-civ cards? Well, that's because Clash wasn't even out yet. So it's kind of nice to have this little latest set thing here just to say, oh, this was when Invasion Earth was the latest set. So that way, if I ever implement some sort of comment feature in the future, people won't be like all confused why a player is not using a certain card, and etc., etc. And of course, you got the date here as well. Now, if this is not a tournament deck, because in the future I do plan on having some sort of deck builder where users can just go in and create their decks and get feedback and stuff like that. This tournament thing over here won't be visible, and it would just have the latest set and the date. Let's go over here to the civilizations. This is pretty much simple, straight up a count of how many of each civilization you have in your deck. Originally, I had a little bit more detail in this total, but I'm going to leave it at this for now and see what you guys think. Originally, I had 3 columns here, one for mono civ that match that civ, and then one for multi-civ that match the civ, and the total, which is the 2 combined. So for example, in this deck you have, let's say, like Reverberate and Piercing Judgment, which act as both light and water. So in this case, the total Piercing and Reverberate are counted in both light and water. Now if I had the 3 columns, it would be like a little bit less light, a little bit less water, because these are not mono civ. And then multi-civ, you'll see 3 in light, 3 in water, because there's 3 multi-civ cards with light and water in them. So that's another option I'm looking into, but it's kind of hard to fit mono civ and multi-civ at the top here because it's really small. So for now I'm just going to go with total, and I think you guys are probably going to be fine with that. And then multis are here anyway, so if you want to know how many multi-civs are in the deck, it'll be right there. I know a couple people have told me that they want to know like a kind of percentage, so they have an idea of how many multis are in the deck, not just the number, but the percentage, because that's kind of important as well. So like in here it would be 8 out of 45, which is actually not that much. And then same thing for Shield Blast down here. A lot of people like percentages with that too, so there's a chance that percentages will be incorporated in there as well. Now, speaking of Shield Blast, these 5 things over here are really cute and they're pretty cool, if I do say so myself. So we have Scaradorable's Paw for creatures, there's 26. We have the blocker symbol for blockers, got 3. We have evolutions, there are none in this deck. Spells, just a generic kind of spell icon, 19, and Shield Blast, 13. So that's a nice little extra count over here. Unfortunately, we couldn't fit like every single category in the world. Like if you go in the database over here, you know how there's categories and you can see like, oh, how many creatures can attack untapped, how many creatures or cards discard and stuff like that. Well, we wanted to do that, but there's so many categories and it could get a little bit complicated and a little bit cluttered on this page, so we're going to go ahead and just put that aside for now. But I think these are like the ones that a lot of people are interested in, but let me know if there are others or something you'd like to see here that isn't here. Now as for the the main part of this page right here, it's the the deck contents itself. So right now how I have it is basically the way that most Magic the Gathering sites sort their deck lists, and it's pretty much split by the types, and it gives you a count of each type, and then they're sorted alphabetically. I know a lot of people also like to sort it by level in the same fashion, so like it would be by type and then by level, so then like Aqua Strider would be on top, Lux would be on top, Nyx, etc. But some people like alphabetical as well. I don't know, I'm gonna keep it as alphabetical for now, but if a lot of people would rather it be by type and then by level, let me know, because that is easily fixable. This is just a default for now. And then I also have sort by civ. Now this isn't like 100% perfect yet right now, because as you can see it's kind of like all over the place, but you have a general idea of how many cards in each civ type there are, so you can see all the mono lights, all the mono waters, and then the multi civs don't get put into these civs like they do here. They get its own category down here on the bottom, which is pretty nice. So yeah, unfortunately like the formatting right now is kind of iffy. Like usually it's supposed to be like light, water, darkness, fire, and then multi-civ, but right now it's kind of wonky and it's doing like a backwards C shape. So we'll probably get that fixed eventually, but this is just kind of like a little design kind of thing, so it's not a huge problem. And as you can see, yeah, if you haven't noticed, if you just hover on the card name, boom, the image pops up on the right, so you know what card it is, and you don't have to, click it every time, go see, oh, that's Herald of Infernus, okay, cool. So you should be able to, get an idea of what the card is just by looking at the image, or if you need to know more, the text is there and pretty much readable unless you have like the tiniest screen in the world. So yeah, there you go. Pretty cool stuff. Now this is just one part of the site. There's actually another kind of cool feature I'm adding as well. Now this feature is probably not as demanded as this whole tournament and top 8 deck list thing is, but this is rankings. Rankings page is just a kind of neat little stats page just to get a general idea of what's going on in the meta. So right now we are currently in the Invasion Earth season, if you will. I will have to change the labels here to make it a bit more clear, but what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to set the rankings and kind of sort them by the latest set, or by a set basically. Like all the stats or all the rankings are related to when this set was the latest released in Kaijudo. So of course Invasion Earth is the most recent one right now, so all the rankings you see over here are all related to tournaments only when Invasion Earth was the latest set. So as you see here, Megabugs, oh, it's first. Well, this is because like LCQs in Winter Champs had like a gajillion Megabugs, a lot of them doing very well, so that's why it's here up top. Top 10 cards, just which cards are being played the most and being played in the most higher decks. So like the first place decks, they have more value than the ones that come in the top 8. So Keeper of Laws is actually the #1 card Now, don't get me wrong, these stats are not fully updated. As you can see here, the latest update is January 10th. I didn't include a lot of other tournaments that happened recently, so these top 10 lists would all kind of be a bit different. So let's say for now I haven't implemented anything for the cards, the creatures, and spells, but I have for the decks. So let's go ahead and see all decks here. And here you can see more than just the top 10 and just get a general idea of what's going on. So yeah, you could pretty much just click on any of these and then you'll be able to see all deck lists that have this archetype. Let's say you go over here, you click Lightwire Darkfire Dragons. Here are all the Lightwire Darkfire Dragon decks that have been in Kaijudo. Now, of course, I'm probably going to have to put some sort of paging on this page as well, but you get a general idea. There have been a lot of Lightwire Darkfire Dragon decks in the past. So, of course, Bobby Break won with it, and, same idea. You click this, and boom, you go to his deck list. And there you go. And ignore this gibberish over here. What I'm probably planning on doing, and I don't know if I'm going to be doing it, right away, but it'll probably have a description of the deck, what cards are most commonly in the deck, or like the core of the deck, basically, or maybe even like a sample deck list, just like the most common Lightwire Darkfire Dragons deck is, and etc. So overall, oh yeah, and like I said, sorry, like if you want to see all decks by Bobby Break, you would click Bobby Break, and then, oh, check it out, these are all the decks that Bobby Break used in tournaments and did well with them. So yeah, this is pretty much just a general overview of what I've been doing for the last month, basically. And this is just grinding out, all these cool features that I know a lot of you KMC competitors would really, really like to have come the KMC's next season. And if every week the deck lists keep on getting updated and updated at a very fast pace, I can easily update this page, every week or maybe even twice a week if the deck lists come a little bit late. And you just, you get stats, you get deck lists on the fly. And that way you don't have to, go all over the place to figure out, oh, what decks did well at this place this weekend and stuff like that. People on the dojo, you could usually find most things in the dojo if you keep up to date with it. But, some people don't have time to go look at dojo every, day or, 2-3 times a day. So eventually you'll be able to just, go to tournaments and then say, oh, cool, I see, the latest tournaments that just happened like this weekend, and boom, you click it, and there you go. It's like, oh, sweet. Those are the decks. Awesome. Now, the thing with deck lists is that in past seasons, the deck lists don't officially come out right away. I know they come out in unofficial ways, like, the store website or the dojo kind of releases the deck lists and stuff like that. So, like I said, the rankings or even, the tournaments and stuff like that, they won't be updated, right after the weekend is done. It'll probably take more like 3 to maybe even 7 days to get that updated. Now, what most people do is they kind of give you an idea of what topped, but they don't say the deck list. So at the very least, I'll be able to update that. So let's say, a tournament happens and then they say, oh, all I know is that first was Kalima Control and second was like Megabugs or something like that. And then you would go on here, you would see that, but then you wouldn't be able to click the deck because there's no deck list for it yet. So eventually you'll probably see you won't see a link here. It'll be black like the player name here. And it'll be like, oh, dang, I can't see the deck list. Well, that's because it hasn't been out yet. So hopefully, the site will be regularly updated every week to kind of get this up to date every time deck lists are released or every time, just deck archetypes are released. And there you go. And that's pretty much it. This is exactly what I wanted to show you guys, and I'm sure you guys will really love it. But I also would really love for you guys to, give some feedback here, because this is not perfect, and this is all kind of like ideas that have came from my head, and some ideas from some people that I've talked to. But I want to get a general idea from the community and not just the couple of friends I talked to. Because I don't want to make this my project. I want to make this, a fun website for the community. So yeah, I would really appreciate feedback. Are there any ideas you're willing to suggest to kind of make this a bit better, or some other features I completely missed? But I want this to be related to just like tournament decks, rankings, stats, things like that. Keep it restricted to those things, and I would gladly, take that into consideration and, update the site for next week. So that is pretty much it, guys. This is TKC, the Kaijudo channel, signing off. Thank you very much, guys, and, thank you all for the support. Have a great day, guys. See you later.